Now, even though Brett took a liking to me, vice versa, I never really fully trusted him based on the fact he's more of a follower instead of a leader. From the day we met, he's the one who hired me. But the day of the interview, we basically hit it off. It's like we've known each other for years, and I did say that on my website. We like each other, and he said, Jeanette, he took me at face value. Said, Jeanette, I know you're going to be great with my patients. And he was right, and I proved him right. But as I observed him, I realized that he was a follower, and I don't trust followers because they can turn against you in a New York minute, and that was proven. But toward the end, almost close to his departure, that was in April, I sat in his office probably 2 days prior to that. We were talking, and he said, Jeanette, I'm going to miss you. I said, well, I'm going to miss you too, man. And he said, Jeanette, if you need any reference, don't hesitate to have them people who can contact me. Now, why would he want to get me a reference while I was working? Like I said, because he already knew there was 99.9% of chance that I was going to get terminated after he was gone, because he couldn't do the job, but they were looking for someone, who could have, picked up where he left off. And I will get to that person at a later time, the one who basically made it happen. It's a female, can you imagine? It's a woman, and her name is Ensa. I'm not going to talk about her right now because I'm almost close to the end of 2010. That's before Brett left. So I said, Brett, I'm going to miss you. And he said, Jen, I'm going to miss, because you know what? We made each other laugh. I mean, we laugh like two kids. Like I said, I like him, and he took a liking to me from the day he laid eyes on me, and the feeling was mutual. Even though it's amazingly, he's not into women. He was openly not into women, but that's what basically created the hatred. That is why the nursing staff hated me, because they couldn't understand why a man who is openly gay was so attached to me. He didn't want to be with me, sexually. He just liked me as a person because I'm likable. I laugh. I'm never in a bad mood. I have a very down-to-earth demeanor. So there was nothing not to like. And that Brett was not the only person who liked me. The patients, family members, everyone. I travel abroad. I travel to places where I've never been before. Never met anyone. People like me. I mean, there are people who hate me. I mean, that's what the world is about. Not everyone on walking the earth loves me, but there are a lot of people who like to be around me. And Brett was one of the person who enjoyed my company, and so are the patient and family members. But the nurses were so hateful. They were hateful, especially one named Kimberly. Kimberly is a woman who's looking for someone to father her child. But even though Brett was not into women, she had hope that he would have been, what I'm saying, he would have volunteered. But he wasn't going to do it, because he's not into that at all. And I was not available. I'm already taken. So there was no way. But they are so hateful. They hated the fact that Brett was always, the chemistry was right between us. In any case, moving along. 2 days prior to his departure, like I said earlier, I'm sorry, because you know what? I'm redundant. I sound redundant. Okay? That's because I've been dealing with redundancy I've dealt with redundancy for 3 freaking years. So it's basically a mental thing right now for me to repeat the same thing over and over again. But trust me, I'll be better next time. And we were communicating like friends. He's offered to give me a reference, whatever. If I need a letter of reference, he was there. And I said, how was I going to get a reference from you? You're moving to San Francisco. He said, Jeanette, I'm going to leave my email address. I'm like, okay. Upon exiting his office, he said, can I get a hug? I hugged him, and I left. When I came home, I emailed him. I said, let me send Brett 2 of my headshots. Those headshots, I had been giving them to family members and patients. Patty knows that because Patty came to the unit one day, and a patient in room 228 bed A held one of my headshots, and he asked Patty, do you know this lady? Patty said, yes, that's Jeanette. And then Patty said, what are you doing with her picture? Because, you know, the patient said, you know what? I love Jeanette so much, I want to wake up looking at her face. Patty, the director of nursing, okay? So she knew that, and I'm coming from Haiti, that's what we do. And it's in my culture to give people my pictures when we part ways. It's in my culture. So, and based on the fact Brett and I, we were cool like that. We were not close friends, but we were cool. So I figured, let me email him 2 of my headshots. And then I said in the email, well, as you take a leap of faith, I wish you luck in your endeavor. And I said, look at my face, because I was sitting in my living room, and I said, look, something funny. And the next day when I went to work, Brett made a complete 180. I was shocked, but not really shocked, because I know for a fact he is, like I said, he's a follower. And I never fully trusted him. And he said to me, Gina, can I see you in my office? And I was like, okay. I was like so happy because, you know, he was leaving. And then he said, Jeanette, and, you know, he looked kind of serious. And I said, what's going on? And he pointed the pictures, pointed them out and said, what are these? I'm like, my pictures. What's wrong with that? He said, but not Jeanette, it's not only the pictures, it's what you said. I said, what did I say? I said, you know, as you take a leap of faith, I wish you good luck. But what I failed to realize that they basically pressured him into resigning. I thought he was leaving voluntarily, but no. They basically pushed him out of the door. So he thought I was happy he was leaving. That was not the case at all. And I said, so what is the problem? I said, I've been giving headshots to my patients. He said, no, Jeanette, it's what you said. And he said, in any case, I have forwarded those pictures to Rachel. Rachel is the employee relation representative. I said, what? He said, yes, you'll be getting a call from Rachel. I'm like, oh my God. So when Brett left, we were not in good terms. And I'm like, okay. And I left his office. And I'm like, what? So when he left, we were not in good terms. But you know what? Like I said, I like Brett because we worked intimately and we cared for those patients when they were left to fend for themselves. Because many times Nancy, the nurse coordinator, would purposely put those patients' lives in danger because she also had some kind of issue that she wanted me gone as well. And that was her way to create that kind of chaos. But Brett was always there. Brett was always there. I said, Jeanette, you know what? Don't worry. I'm going to work with you. And we worked together. And I could not believe that man can really bust poops. I can tell you that. He was the manager of the unit. He rolled up his sleeves and then he cleaned poop like he was born to do that. And I asked him, how do you learn how to do that? He said, Jeanette, I used to be a nursing assistant. I worked for a long time in nursing homes. We worked together. And not only that, after we cleaned poops, he got rid of the soil materials. And I loved him for that. Because anyone who can treat you, see, I love hardworking people. I love people who does their work. With you know what I mean? And Brett was the top. I didn't even know that. Because he was always gone. But when he was on the unit, I could always depend on him. Jeanette, he offered, Jeanette, you know what? If you need help, come and get me in my office. I never wanted to do that. But oftentimes when Nancy purposely left me on the unit with 26 patients and 7 lazy nurses, Brett came through for me many times. As a matter of fact, one day, it was on the 3rd times that I was going to be left alone. I was a little upset. And I said to Brett, I don't understand. How come every time I come to work, you guys are going to tell me that you couldn't find another nursing assistant? This is a huge hospital. How do you expect amazing things to happen when you don't have adequate staffing? Is it possible? One day, one of the nurses, her name is Jennifer. She used to work as a companion. She was standing next to me. At that time, she had just, she was a newly hired. She had not, joined the crew yet. She said, "Yeah, Jeanette, I don't understand. They've been leaving you alone for so many." Jennifer was standing next to me. That was when she was human. She even said it herself. "Jeanette, I don't understand. They've been leaving you alone for every time you come to work, you alone." And I didn't even care that I was alone. If there are 7 nurses on a unit with 26 patients, 1 nursing assistant, we should be okay. Any unit with 26 patients, 7 nurses, and 1, that's 8 people for 26 patients, they should work as a team. But you know what? Teamwork was non-existent on 6 Central, and I will say it until the end of the world. Until I will say this until I reach my final breath. There was never a teamwork on 6 Central, and I want Dr. Cohen to understand that. I want him to know that. Maybe in other divisions, not on 6 Central, not 68th Street in New York. I had to basically beg people to help me turn a patient. Those patients sometimes they were like 3 times my size, and I was left to turn them myself. The high profile bed that they thought could do the job, the high profile bed was most of the time was dysfunctional. And if a patient is incoherent, they couldn't, I needed to forget about it, because you know what? It's sick. It was sickening to witness what had happened on 6th Central Unit. And we talk about New York Presbyterian, one of the best hospitals. So Brett was always there. He wasn't always there. Whenever he was on the unit and I was, if I needed help, he offered to help. And I respected him for that. And I really appreciate the fact that he basically saved many days. Okay? So, in the next video, I will tell you the day of his departure. Now, we're getting close to the next chapter. That's in April, when his successor, a woman named Ensa, took office. And that's when everything I had said before I haven't even scratched the surface. Things got real ugly when Ensa came in. A woman who used to be a nurse, a bedside nurse on the 2nd floor, when she came up, oh my God, that woman worked in harmony. She did things shamelessly, not to go back to poop cleaning. And I will tell you what she had done. And I will share with you, with the world, what Ensa had done in order to keep her job. What she had done to me to make sure that she stays in that position. Okay? See you.